the importance of Tahawwur Rana lies in the various linkages that the attack has with Pakistan. He provided the platform on what was called the first global immigration services. They opened this platform in Mumbai, which was based earlier in Chicago, through which this entire attack was launched. So Tahawwur Rana is the key to finding out what is the linkage with ISI, what is the linkage with Lashkar-e-Taiba, particularly Hafiz Saeed, what is the linkage with the government. The entire conspiracy was hatched way back in 2005. That was the same time when Indian Mujahideen was launched against India within the country. The man has been extradited. There will be interrogation. He will be put under remand, which has already been done. Now, after that, when all that comes up, there will be a proper trial. Through Tahawwur Rana, we can find the entire network of terror that existed in Lahore, in Murid Ke at that particular point of time. Through him, we can actually nail the Emir of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Saeed. The operations room was in Karachi. All of these guys were sitting over there. They were directing people to kill, massacre innocents in cold blood.
"64-year-old Tahawwur Rana, a key accused in the 26/11 attacks, has been extradited by the US back to India. To talk about the significance of this extradition and the impact of this going forward on the 26/11 case, I'm joined by my senior colleague, Mr. Shishir Gupta, Executive Editor, Hindustan Times. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out. Big day for India. India has been trying to extradite Tahawwur Rana back to the country for a while now, and finally, he's been sent back. How is this going to help the 26/11 case?
Namaskar. Abhishek, the importance of Tahawwur Rana lies in the various linkages that the attack has with Pakistan.
Yeah.
Understand this, that 26/11 attack, actually massacre, in which 166 people were killed, butchered. It was virtually done by a joint venture of the ISI, the Lashkar-e-Taiba, and with political linkages. It has army involved in it, because they were all these people were ex-army. It had
Including
Tahawwur Rana, who was an army deserter. It had people who, the core group was in Hassan Abdal Military Academy. Hassan Abdal is just 100 kilometers from where Osama bin Laden was killed by the US Army. Now, it has Lashkar-e-Taiba. Then it has ISI with two people, Major Iqbal, Major Samir, who have been identified by us as to who they were. Now, the point is that Tahawwur Rana, who started the platform on which David Coleman Hadley, alias Dawood Gilani, who was the nephew of a former Prime Minister of Pakistan that time. Now, he provided the platform on what was called the first global immigration services. They opened this platform in Mumbai, which was based earlier in Chicago, through which this entire attack was launched. David Coleman Hadley did recce of India from 2006 to 2008. Tahawwur Rana was in Mumbai just 8 days before the attack. So Tahawwur Rana is the key to finding out what is the linkage with ISI, what is the linkage with Lashkar-e-Taiba, particularly Hafiz Saeed, what is the linkage with the government.
Right.
So Tahawwur Rana will actually be able to shed light on things which have never been revealed actually. For instance, who was funding David Coleman Hadley? Was David Coleman Hadley a double agent? Was he a DEA agent? Who was funding him? Who was funding this guy? Because you just can't come to India just like that on a business visa.
Yeah, there have to be, people here who are helping you out.
This is a multiple network. This is a global conspiracy. Because remember one thing, 26/11 was not a simple attack.
Right.
It was, the entire conspiracy was hatched way back in 2005. That was the same time when Indian Mujahideen was launched against India within the country. It had people from Al-Qaeda involved. That is Ilyas Kashmiri of 313 Brigade. So it's a huge conspiracy. The conspiracy was to humiliate India. The conspiracy was to humiliate the then government. And humiliate they did, because we did nothing about it.
And India has been waiting for, the likes of Hadley and, Tahawwur Rana to be extradited. I mean, now that he's here, he'll of course be presented in front of a judge. There is a case which is going to start against him. And some of the people, especially yesterday when this news was being discussed, was saying that, what India should try to avoid is perhaps what we did with, another key accused of the attack, Kasab, which was, we kept him in a jail for a very long time. And, you remember that, those biryani allegations that he was fed biryani, and then, eventually what was done to him, But having said that, so what's the next step? What's going to happen next? NIA is going to take custody. There's going to be an interrogation. If you can walk us through, that part.
Abhishek, India is not a banana republic. It's not Pakistan. It is not Bangladesh. It is not Turkey. There is a process of law. The man has been extradited. There will be interrogation. He will be put under remand, which has already been done.
Yeah.
Now, after that, when all that comes up, there will be a proper trial. Now, I do not know about biryani or anything. What I know is that the entire due process of law will be followed to indict the person. And it is for the court to decide what kind of punishment will he be given. But what is going to happen is a full-fledged trial will take place. Now, the whole thing is that even in the case of Kasab, if it is not like that, suddenly you get this guy and suddenly you shoot him. No. You will do a proper trial, and then there will be a proper, because there is law in this country, and that's what is going to happen, and that's what is going to be exactly followed. So, but the thing that is most important in this is that through Tahawwur Rana, we can find the entire network of terror that existed in Lahore, in Murid Ke at that particular point of time. Right. Through him, we can actually nail the Emir of Lashkar-e-Taiba, Hafiz Saeed, who orchestrated the entire attack through his commanders like Zakiur Rahman Lakwi, Sajid Mir, the guy who actually led the shooters to kill people at the Habad House, at Nariman Point, at Trident Hotel, at Taj Hotel, and other places.
Right. Sitting in Pakistan, literally directing them on sat phones.
They were in Karachi. Right. The operations room was in Karachi. All of these guys were sitting over there. They were directing people to kill, massacre innocents in cold blood. There's nothing small that has happened. It's a huge conspiracy, and through Tahawwur Rana, you can unravel the entire conspiracy as to what it is. It will bring a whole lot of humiliation and shame to Pakistan, its establishment.
Which is, interestingly, yesterday denied all kinds of relationship, anything to do at all with Tahawwur Rana.
Yeah,
as expected.
Yeah, just because I did not renew his visa for 20 years, that doesn't mean that that he's not a Pakistani. He is a Pakistani, just like Dawood Gilani was a Pakistani. So you wanted a Caucasian face. Tahawwur Rana launched Dawood Gilani, alias David Coleman Hadley. The two used the local network in Bombay. You had all sorts of, he was going to gym, he was going to various places, and not a single person got any immigration services from Bombay. So it was all a setup. You had people like Sajid Mir coming and conducting recce in India. You had people like Major Sayyid Hashim Rahman coming to India. All these people came in the name of, the great Indo-Pak cricket series, where the match was held in Mohali, and these guys did a recce of the National Defence College in Delhi. So it was a huge conspiracy. It was a part of a global jihad. There was Al-Qaeda involvement, there was Lashkar involvement, there was ISI involvement, there was Pakistan government involvement. So nobody can deny that, this part did not know.
Yeah.
So all this is going to come out, and that is why this man is important. And remember, I don't want to take names, but all those people who were at that time important in counter-terrorism, they are right now at the head of it. Sadanand Date was the man who was involved in cleaning up the 26/11 attack, the counter, who's right now the NIA chief. You have people in IB who dealt with the entire issue. You have people in RW who dealt with the entire issue. So this is possibly the best time to actually find out the level of involvement of Pakistan in exporting terror, not only to India, but all over the world.
Although it will be premature to talk about the nature of punishment which will be meted out by the courts as far as Tahawwur Rana is concerned. But another thing which was being discussed yesterday and discussed at length and especially on social media was the fact that since he's 64 years old now, he's a senior citizen, so to speak, the nature of punishment perhaps will not be as severe as the heinousness of the crime demanded, perhaps a life sentence. Do you think there is some merit in that argument, or the courts in such cases will not keep into consideration his age?
166 people were butchered,
yes,
including US nationals, 6 US nationals, Israelis, right? There were some 302 who were severely injured, who are still suffering, right? And you say that he should not be given life sentence? The only thing that he cannot be given is a death sentence. It was a horrible crime. I was there at the spot, and I know what happened at that time.
Yeah. We were very young, but the images of that attack on television were for everybody to see. But on that note, now that Tahawwur Rana is back, hopefully justice will be done. In fact, definitely justice will be done. It took a while, but finally he's here. But on that note, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time and talking to us.